My name is Carrie Boax and I am the President of the Scottish Brass Band Association, and with that I have the honour and delight of being in charge of the National Youth Brass Band of Scotland.
So here we are, Carrie, day 9. It's almost time to return to Scotland. How do you reflect upon this wonderful trip to Norway?
Wow, what an experience. If you'd asked me 6 months ago if we would have been here, probably for the first time in my experience of working with SABA, I would have had a big question mark over my head. We have had the National Youth Brass Band of Scotland, the senior band in the past year, have been pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, taken out their comfort zone with not one but 3 CD recordings. We have worked at an Easter course as well. I had a very brief conversation with Russell Gray, our musical director, about maybe this time last year, after the Easter course last year, and we were wondering about a Norway relationship or connection. Russell obviously lived here, worked and stayed for 2 years in Stavanger, very successful and still is involved heavily in Norway and so well respected as a player, adjudicator and conductor. We have been so lucky with the connections that we have, Norwegian friends that we have. Erik Gjerdevik, who has been instrumental working with John Boax, the education officer for SABA, and he was given by the trustees the course to really coordinate and organise. But Eric's just made it for us. He's really opened his arms out. The Norwegian hospitality has been fantastic from Eric, beyond the headmaster here, the catering staff here, the caretaker here. They've all been so lovely and so welcoming, and our young people, having just brief chats with them in the course of the last 2 days, have loved it, and a lot of them have said, you know, they love the place. It's never a place they would thought to have come to, I think, but now that they've been, they loved it, and they were even in their time with the Norwegian Brass Band camp making some real friendships that, in my experience, if they last, then they'll stay in the brass band and family forever, and that's ultimately what we want.
It's been a busy 8 or 9 days. We began with a couple of days of intensive rehearsals before we got out on the road and enjoyed performances in all sorts of venues. What have been perhaps some of your standout moments from the trip?
The rain. And I say that because the rain has made the band stronger. They have a steel determination and a passion in them that is true of any Scot. Yesterday probably, when we were in Floyne, and the rain really came down in sheets, and Russell said no more, thanks to the audience, and the band said no. They really dug their heels in and said we want to do another one, and they finished then with Gale Force, and that to me just proved their spirit, their fighting spirit that they have, and I was so proud of them yesterday. Another highlight has to be visiting Monga and heading up to the Norwegian Youth Brass Band and putting on a real concert for them that was worthy of any national band of any country. The Norwegians started the concert and were fantastic, and it's lovely to have their music in the repertoire for ourselves as well. They really did appreciate the Scottish music, but also the Norwegian music was really well appreciated. And to meet Reid as well, the conductor of the band. I mean, these are names that our youngsters know as composers, but actually to meet people in the flesh, to be places that they've heard of, to have a visit from Vigo, who is the Ikehanger, but also the Norwegian Music Federation. This is real life for them now, and they can say that they've been here and they've met these people, and they've hopefully built relationships that will last. We have to, and this is the challenge for the Scottish Brass Band Association, keep these young people keen and interested and wanting to come back, I suppose, for more. Big challenge. Maybe need to give up my day job for that one.
Perhaps one of the things that will bring them back is the wonderful musical direction they get during the course of the week. They worked with tutors in Erik Gjerdevik and John Boax, but of course the band was conducted by Russell Gray and Richard Evans. How important was their input during the course of the week? Invaluable. I think the mix with Richard now and his experience across all 3 organisations. We've then got Russell, who comes in with his experience and his friendships and connections in Scandinavia and in Norway, and it really opens the young people's eyes up to another style of music making. Opens them up to that European flavour and connection, and Russell, with his skilled experience and working across all musical genres, conducting as well, that really adds to make something really magical, and I think it's the perfect combination. I'm really quite proud. And finally, for now, Carrie, to anyone watching, or to potential parents who are not involved in NYBBS at the moment, why should they think about it? Why should they get involved?
I believe, looking at all the genres, the musical genres in Scotland, that we have the perfect family here. We have an age and stage appropriate setup, which then goes back into the local communities and feeds the local brass bands, or gives youngsters opportunities to play in their local communities. It's not just somewhere that they can come for a week and then go back. They make friendships that last forever, and they will also gain a musical experience that will help them 24/7, 365 days a year.